Hey guys, it's Aladdin from Total Padel, and today we're gonna talk about how to test the paddle racket. So every paddle racket has its own shape, weight, balance and materials, and everyone has their perfect paddle racket, the one that is adequate to your level, to your game style, to ensure the best performance that you can reach. So why we're testing paddle racket? We have to find the racket that fits our desires. We have to try it in a proper way because you don't want to try the racket for 2 or 3 random shots. You get fascinated by it, you buy it, and then you discover after some games that it's too heavy for you or too soft for you, and you end up by searching for a new racket. So we're gonna show you a method. It's adequate to all levels, to all game styles. You're gonna enjoy your new racket with. But before that, let me tell you about our demo program. In Total Padel, we know that testing the racket before buying it is very important. And that's why we got the biggest demo program in Europe. You can test paddle rackets for 7 days, you only pay for the shipping, but if you like the racket, we will send you a new one and the demo service becomes totally free. So first of all, think about getting rackets with quite similar features according to what you prefer. For example, we got here 3 rackets, which are Babolat Air Veron, Wilson Blade LT and Head Speed Motion. All of them got a lightweight, same teardrop shape, and they are adapted for the same level of players. Our first advice would be not taking more than 2 or 3 rackets per trial. It might be confusing with more rackets. If you have the chance to do it, check the weight of the racket you got. You can find the weight written on the racket, but with a more or less margin of 10 grams. Balance is indicated with the weight on the racket. Most of the time, diamond-shaped rackets got a high balance to offer more power, even balance for teardrop rackets, and low balance for control rackets with a round shape. You can always check it anytime with the net and see at which point the racket is keeping balance. So you need to try the racket in 4 different phases: defensive phase, volleys, viboras and kick smash. That's very important to try the racket in these different game situations and see how comfortable you are. You should try different kind of shots, some before the glass, after the glass, some lobs as well, to get a feeling of the ball and how maneuverable the racket is. In the attacking test, besides the power and the control, you can check the sensation with the ball, the generated effect, the spin, and if you're hitting the ball in the optimal sweet spot. The thing is that during warm-ups or tests, you can execute shots like a world-class player. And this can build the wrong opinion about the racket. That's why our advice to you is to play a cross-court 1 versus 1 set with the racket, because then you're sure about facing all the game situations and you're performing the shots with movements and decisions similar to the match conditions. And then you can see how comfortable with the racket you are. Believe me guys, you might change your mind about the racket after this 1 versus 1 set. It might also happen that you try a racket for some shots, you don't like it for some reason, and then you try it for 1 set and you start to get the feeling of it. So when you try your paddle racket, take your time, try it as much as you can, and try to be objective as much as possible. So don't let the comments of your friends or a shot that fascinates you impact your decision. Thank you very much for watching. If you need anything related to paddle, please check us out at totalpadel.com.